here is AOC with Alex Wagner. This is on the Alabama IVF ruling, and she's saying what needs to be said here about the Republican Party. And I've been saying this, we've been saying this for years here, which is that the Republican Party's platform, and this is, back when they used to write a platform that was something other than whatever Donald Trump says in the past 5 minutes, has been dictated. Their whole political system, their whole political values has been dictated by a Christian fundamentalism. Doesn't have to be Christian, but it just so happens to be in this instance. But it's the fundamentalism part that's really operative. And even when they don't cite religious fundamentalism as the reason for this, that's where it comes from. And then it gets just sort of whitewashed down the road. Now, in this stuff, it's a little bit closer to home. But that's what it is. This is the party of religious fundamentalism and imposing it upon you. And whether it's in the context of book banning, whether it's in the context of we're not going to look at even like, issues like slavery in a sort of too judgmental of a light. All of that was justified. All of that was justified by a fundamentalism. Whether it was sincerely held beliefs or not, in some instances, yes. In some instances, no. But all of it justified that way. Here's AOC.
I have to ask you, because we were talking about children and literally children in meat grinders, from the party that is the pro-family party, the party that this week is facing a sort of crisis as it has pushed the nation towards sort of a Christian nationalist agenda. They have found themselves in the crosshairs of what it means to be sort of a theocratic party on the subject of IVF. It is something that Donald Trump has tried to walk back today. I think he has said, I'm calling on the Alabama legislature to act quickly to find an immediate solution to preserve the availability of IVF in the state. Republicans in the state are trying to mop up the mess. I just wonder what you think the dawning reality of this agenda as it concerns women who are seeking abortions and immediate reproductive health care, people who are trying to build families and need fertility support. What does this do to the Republican Party as we hurtle towards November?
I mean, they know exactly what they're doing. They knew exactly what they were doing by attacking Dobbs and attacking Roe v. Wade and attacking it in the way that they did. They're trying to walk it back now so that they don't look publicly accountable. But I want to be very clear that this was intentional and that this is exactly what Republicans have been going for. We've seen it. You have the Heritage Foundation, you have lots of folks who are on record saying, not only do they want to go after abortion, not only do they want to go after reproductive freedom, they're going after IVF, they're going after contraception. We have a mifepristone ruling that is coming down from the Supreme Court, and Clarence Thomas enriching himself from the same folks who are saying that they are trying to control women's bodies quite explicitly and going beyond that. They also want to control what they call recreational sex.
Yes.
Recreational sex. This is so clearly a patriarchal theocracy that has embodied itself in the DNA of an entire political party in the United States of America. And as women and as any non-binary and queer person in this country, they must be defeated. There should never be room for this kind of control by force over another person's body in this country. And they can walk it back as much as they want. They have done this. Who put those judges there? Not Democrats, not independents. Republicans put those judges in there. Republicans are taking women's bodies by force, and we cannot let them do it. It has to come to an end.
The only thing I would take issue with that is that the DNA was not embodied in it. The DNA grew the body of that political party. I mean, it's been like this for decades now. It has been like this for decades. It is just that that fundamentalism, which was a driving force of the Republican Party really for the past 45 years, just became, it just took over it took over the whole body.
Yeah, and there was like I think of a ability to deny the reality on the right. But you read Rick Perlstein's books on the right wing and how it's developed. Like in the 80s, it was, can we allow gay people to be teachers, or do we need to do a witch hunt about that?
100%. 100%. And that is just the reality of it. And there has been, there's certainly been, you have Henry Cuellar. There's certainly, you can find Democrats
Right.
who have similar belief systems, but it's irrelevant in terms of what they're going to do in terms of judges they appoint, in terms of legislation that they pass. That's just the reality of it. That is reality of it. And this is a real thing. We see it each time. They're taking a step each time. I would be surprised if that case wasn't brought by some type of conservative
Group in Alabama.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
That's just where they're going to start.